some of those targets that you wanted to hit?
I actually put on like 20 pounds. I know it don't look like it, but yeah.
Where are you at in terms of your weight? 'Cause you're listed at 347, but
That's where I'm at.
you're at 347.
Yep.
How's it feel moving around out there throughout the offseason so far?
It feels good to be back. It's always a good time coming back out there and being with the guys and just getting ready.
Looks like you guys are getting after it up front. So you guys are getting backfield already. What's it like now having all those pieces together and kind of starting to be able to gel?
I think you always get a little bit of that on the first day. Like some guys ain't happy being out there and having everybody back together. But a lot of upside in the young guys. Good to be back out there.
A guy like Elijah Chancey who's so shifty and quick. What does that do to allow you to play your game at a different level?
It's definitely a good thing having him around. A lot of guys tend to focus on him because they're scared of his quickness and his athleticism. So just having him out there is always a plus from what he can do. It's really outstanding for a guy his size to run around people and also go free throw.
What have you done in the offseason? Did you work with Indolicon? Was that something that you found useful?
Yeah, I was out there in sunny Portland, just grinding away. A lot of early morning stuff, but we got together, took me under his wing, and just took care of me out there.
What was that experience like working with him from a different side of not necessarily your teammate, but kind of helping you in the training aspect?
It's like the same. It's like the same, same stuff, different. I guess different place. I think be used to the stuff. Being in football, just the training aspect is just doing it at a different location and get used to that place.
When you walked out of Detroit, out of Ford Field, that was an emotional locker room, obviously, and the season was over. I heard a story, you said maybe something to Jason, like, just what was your feeling about coming back this season and how united to be even better?
I think last season was more, because I think we got written off last year that we weren't going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
We made it to the second round. I think there was a lot of positive stuff that happened for us, and I think that just helped out everybody. Although it wasn't the outcome we wanted, walking out of there, but it worked out for us. And,
Headed back to Detroit for week 2. What's kind of the thought process getting back there after the way that last season ended?
we're gonna worry about week 1 first.
We have 2 more Huskies on the team. It's almost like Washington Huskies South down here. What does it mean to have more guys, and what does it mean about Coach Peterson and the kind of guys that he brought in there to see so many of them come up to the Bucs and then also have success in the league?
I think he's a good recruiter, but then also not to take anything away from them, the players as well. They did a lot of stuff to earn their way to where they're at now. So I think it's a combination of both. The coach and the players doing what they got to do to get to the next level.
Coach Bowles said that nobody asked you to get in better shape or anything like that. He said you did this on your own, and you had already been doing that over the last few off seasons. But what prompted you to want to take it to another level this year?
It's just one of those things, just pulling the trigger on it. I think Sue has always invited me to come train with him in Portland. It was just one of those things that I finally, I always said I was going to come. Every year it's the same answer. I'm coming out, never went. And then this past season, or this past offseason, I finally pulled the trigger on out there.
You talked about your workouts up north in the Northwest, and Sterling just talked about here in the heat and humidity. Is there still a slap in the face on day 1 back out here in minicamp?
Not really. Over the years, you get used to it, so you know what to expect. I think it's different for guys that, like Sterling, his first day out here is definitely different from what he's accustomed to. But I think it gets humid in New York as well, but it's a little different down here. So something new for new players to adjust to. I think once you've been in it, you know what to expect.
I remember when Vita was here, I believe he had hooked you up with his chef.
Vita.
I'm sorry, not Vita. Sue. I'm looking at you, and I'm sorry. when Ndamukong was here, he had hooked you up with his chef, but like, what other things have you kind of learned from him?
Shoot, a lot of stuff on and off the field about finances, business stuff, just stuff that he doesn't even have to tell me, and just being able to be there in the room or around while he's working, and be able to see what it takes to be that caliber that he is.
How many?
And his business ventures and whatever he's doing. So I think it's definitely a blessing for me to be there firsthand and watch it and also learn.
How many weeks or months were you up there working with them?
About there for like 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Vita, you don't have the pads on yet, but first initial thoughts on Graham Barton?
He's a good center. I think that was a good pickup for us. He definitely shows a lot of upside out there. Obviously, day one, like you said, no pads, so really hard to get a gauge on everything. But from what I just saw out there, was pretty good. I think for a rookie coming in and being as physical as he was today, I think it was pretty good.
Maybe
A couple more, please.
Do you have any big personal goals entering this season for yourself that you'd like to improve on and that maybe in the past missed the mark on?
Personal goals, there's definitely some, but we keep them on a need-to-know basis.
When you're working out with someone like Ndamukong, who is so talented and in many ways kind of your equal, but he's also a veteran at the same time, how does that kind of transform your workouts as opposed to you just doing it by yourself at home? I mean, does it give you that extra motivation? How are those workouts kind of different than what you might be doing on your own?
I think it was definitely a different style of training, but it was more, I guess to say, hate to label it this way, but it's like functional style training, more football-based stuff. So,
As opposed to like pure strength building, or?
it's just one of those things like once you get to a certain point in age where you could risk this much to gain so little, as opposed to a high school athlete, you could risk this much to gain this much. So someone like, I think like myself, I'm learning that from Ndamukong and his team was, you don't have to do that. So just trying to focus on being stronger and faster, longer, rather than trying to get this much stronger, this much faster.
So
Yeah,
maybe
I'm not
something
sure if
that's
you were
more
here.
sport specific as opposed to like loading your spine, like, you know, maxing out on a squat, or I think you give an example of the functional.
It's kind of like that, but it just stuff around. It's kind of hard to explain.
Or if it was more like say a split squat as opposed to like loading your spine, or just, you know, give an example of it.
I think you load your spine, carrying the groceries inside the house from the car. So
Well, I mean, barbell on your back, you know, 500 pounds as opposed to like doing a farmer's walk, you know, it's not compressing the discs.
there's different ways to do stuff, and I think that's how it was. For us, it's a different way to attack it.
I'm not sure if you were here for OTAs or for how much you were here, but what are your first impressions on the new offense, the problems it might present for you guys during training camp and other teams in the league?
Obviously, we went against him, playing against him when he was with the Rams, but it was a little hard to tell from day one. So, but definitely a lot of new stuff what we had last year.